It's time for Recipe of the Day. There is nothing better on the grill than beef, and these ribs are they're like dinosaur ribs. You know, they're those nice big ones. I'm not talking about short ribs here. Those big, long bones covered in nice, meaty beef. I love these so much, and I know how to make them wonderfully tender, whether you're doing them on the grill or in the oven. I'm going to give you instructions for both, and then they have a really nice char. They're just so great to pick up and chew on, you know? Okay, the beef ribs that I'm talking about are often sold in a whole rack. They look like spare ribs. They're long bones running kind of vertically as the rack goes horizontally across. Okay, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, if you go to the link for the beef ribs in the show notes for this podcast, or go to cookthestory.com and search for beef ribs, I have pictures of the raw racks there. Crucially, we are not talking about short ribs. Those are beef, but they are different. They have sort of smaller, wide bones. And we're not talking about the flanken-cut style beef ribs, which you get in Korean style barbecue. They kind of look the same because they are this sort of wider shape, but they are cut across the bone and are kind of speckled with bone. These are long, hearty bones with the meat on them. Okay, so that is what you're looking for. They're usually sold in a rack, like I said, but sometimes they are sold as individual ribs. You can get them either way, because if you get them as a rack, I'm going to tell you to cut them into ribs to start anyhow. But actually, before you do that, or after you do that, it's just a little bit easier to do it before. You want to remove any membranes or extra fat from the ribs. Often along the sort of bonier side, there's a silver skin or a thin skin on there. It is best to take that off because it is a little bit tough. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you don't know how, don't worry about it. It is actually going to be just fine. Okay, you're going to preheat one side of your grill to a low heat, 275 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like if you have your hands like 3 inches from the grill and you can count to 5 comfortably, nice and low, or use the thermometer on your grill if you have one, 275 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to season 2 racks of beef ribs. It's about 7 pounds total. You're going to season that with 1 teaspoon of salt. And I guess I should just back up and say this will serve 4 to 5 people. It sounds like a lot. There's 8 ribs per rack. So we're talking about 16 ribs, which I'm saying we're doing like 4 ribs per person. But there's not very much meat on these. They are mostly bone. So that is why. So you've got the 2 racks, which is the 16 ribs. You've seasoned it all over with a teaspoon of salt. And then it's going on to that low grill where you're cooking it over indirect heat with the lid closed for 2 hours. You want to do those meaty side up. Just leave them there. Then you're going to brush some barbecue sauce all over them. You can skip this if you want. You can add a different seasoning, a different kind of sauce. I think it works really, really well. I just use a store-bought sauce most of the time, but I will link to some barbecue sauce recipes in case you want to make your own. I have a basic barbecue sauce recipe that's just like ketchup, mustard, honey, and then you add seasonings, which I love using in a pinch if I need barbecue sauce for something and I don't have any in the house. You can whip that up and then doctor it up with whatever seasonings you like, and it works great. So that is an option. So you've brushed them with barbecue sauce after they were on the grill for 2 hours. Then you're going to keep cooking them in the same way, meaty side up over indirect heat for another 30 to 60 minutes until the meat easily pulls away from the bone. You can serve them then, let them rest for 5 minutes first, or you can add some char to them, turn the grill up and let the ribs darken in spots, flip them over, darken the other side, 2 to 3 minutes per side just to get some of that nice color on there. Then let them stand 5 minutes and then dig in. You're going to pick them up, bite into them. Make sure you have a lot of napkins nearby. They are messy and so good. Okay, I promised you that I would tell you how to do them in the oven as well if you are not grilling this weekend. It is pretty similar, and I will say, as with my other ribs and a lot of my grilling recipes, I sometimes do this oven portion first, even the day before, and then when I want to serve them, I brush them with barbecue sauce and put them on a hot grill to char them like we just did, get a little char on there and heat them through. So you get your slow cooked in the oven the day before while you're doing whatever in the house, and then you pull them out and put them on the grill, and wow, everybody, with those grilled ribs, ribs or faux grilled ribs, and they're delicious. So totally you could combine these two techniques, but I'm telling you now how to do them like completely in the oven. Preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, cut those racks of digital ribs, season with the 1 teaspoon of salt all over, and then they're going on a large baking sheet in a single layer uncovered for an hour, mediast side up again. Then cover the whole pan with aluminum foil and cook for another hour and a half. After that, like I said, you could refrigerate them and then brush them with sauce the next day and put them on the grill just to heat through and char. Or you can brush them with barbecue sauce right now and serve them just like that. Or you can brush them with barbecue sauce right now and put them under the broiler and get a little char on them. That's going to be really nice, like 2 to 3 minutes per side under the broiler. And you can also do the make ahead oven version and then refrigerate them and then brush them with barbecue sauce and then broil them to heat them through. You're just going to need to leave them in there a little bit longer. The broiler doesn't warm them through as well as the grill will. So you're going to put them under the broiler, turn them under the broiler a bit more, turn them, and keep doing that until they're nice and hot and charred. Okay, lots of options there. All of them are pretty much the same in theory, though. If you want to cook them and serve them at the same day, same time, you're doing low and slow for a while, then you're brushing with barbecue sauce, then optionally charring them and serving them. If you're trying to do the make ahead, you're doing them low and slow for a while, then you're refrigerating them, then brush them with barbecue sauce, then char them to heat them up and serve. That is what we're doing. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is August 1st of 2025. And if you love this recipe, I know you're going to. If you love this recipe or any of the recipes from my sites, I would really appreciate it if you would leave a 5-star rating and a comment. Those 5-star ratings really help me grow my business. They help more people find my site because they see the 5 stars on their Google search results and then they click over, which is so good. And seeing your ratings and comments really makes my day every time. I have to say, so many of you have been doing it lately, and I know you have. You mentioned the podcast, you mentioned me by name. It really makes me feel great. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all you do to help support me and my business. I am Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookful.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.